Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I had to start with this. So you see the US SEC closed meeting August 1st. Sunshine Act notice. Agenda. SEC versus Ripple. Gary Gensler to hand deliver $10 Wendy's gift cards to all XRP holders. It's to the point now that people just make fun of these meetings. New today, Ripple led $1.5 billion token flood to hit market in August. Now, we know these unlocks at Ripple happen every single month. But people are going to say, look, now they're getting ready to settle with the SEC once again. You know, we see this time and time again. Ripple unlocks XRP. Then they lock back 800 million tokens every single time. You could expect it at this point because it's been happening for months now. And I'm sure FUD will follow this as well. Now, this comes from Fred Rerun Cherry. Rich, what are your feelings on this? And I had to share this with all of you. So this is David Schwartz back in May of 2013. He says, I think the social credit aspect is the most exciting. I don't think the world is quite ready for that yet. But over time, as new tools are developed and social rules change, social credit has the potential to completely change how people think about money. It will require social changes, but so did Facebook and texting. And those changes happened. In the long term, I'd like to see finance integrated into social relationships rather than being an awkward secret. Now, anybody that knows what the Great Reset is has been talking about this because we know social credit score is going to be part of the future. It goes along with CBDC and universal basic income and digital IDs. But it would make sense for Ripple to be talking about this because of what you're invested in. Back in 2018, XRP was mentioned by one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the world, the Rothschilds, and they even held XRP through SBI. And we know this is who we're investing with. You know that from the very first day that you buy XRP. If you don't know this yet, you need to understand what you're holding. I always said it, invest in what the elites are investing in. Get rich while you can. Get rich before the new system comes. World Economic Forum document on decentralized and non-traditional payment schemes cites Ripple as an example of an alternative rail for traditional payment systems. If usage of the Ripple protocol were to expand to other banks, it could be easily used for real-time payment and settlement between these institutions with no automated clearinghouse or correspondent banks required. This comes from Smoke. And you see it right here. Bank accounts, authentication, point A to point B, alternative rails. Now, as an XRP investor, I think you are going to be able to break away from the CBDC system. I think there's going to be alternatives to the CBDC system, kind of like parallel rails, where people are only transacting using crypto instead of using CBDC or cash. Because I've seen the IMF talk about this in the past, the BIS and others. But you know, not everyone is going to get wealthy in the crypto space. Think about it like this. Regulations come out. All of a sudden, we watch most of crypto disappear. We're left with a handful of cryptocurrencies. We already know they look at Bitcoin as competition to a CBDC. I think everything that's forming around Bitcoin right now is leading up to Bitcoin becoming irrelevant. Once utility comes, once they tokenize gold, once you can move value from point A to point B across borders, there's no need for Bitcoin anymore. It won't go to zero. It will just become irrelevant. You will have so many more relevant cryptocurrencies, but they're going to be utility driven and use case driven. Even this shows you who you're invested with. The Digital Currency Conference, September 23rd to 24th, 2024. And again, Ripple and Stellar among the financial creme de la creme, BIS, IMF, Hyperledger, US Treasury, and dozens of central banks. When you look at who's there, Ripple and Stellar always have a seat at the table. Even the Fed is going to be there, the Federal Reserve. And, you know, people still are not getting it. You know, every day I point out, why are they pushing Bitcoin all of a sudden? Because they're distracting you from the much bigger picture. A new financial system is literally getting built behind the scenes. Most people don't even know what utility is yet. Most Bitcoin holders only invest in Bitcoin because that's the narrative right now. That's where all the belief is right now. Why? Because people will continue to believe Bitcoin could go higher and higher in price until all of a sudden XRP starts to skyrocket in price, and XLM is skyrocketing in price, and XDC and the rest of these ISO cryptocurrencies. Once they start to really take off, all the belief in Bitcoin will disappear. The only thing propping Bitcoin up is the fact that people still believe in it. And again, going back to what David Schwartz said back in 2013, here we are 11 years later, and look what's going on around the world. Take a listen to Brad Garlinghouse right here.
At this is Ripple's really trying to solve that cross-border payments problem. You know, central bank digital currencies are domestic by nature. They're issued by a central bank or potentially issued by a central bank. So they're not really solving cross-border problems. They're solving domestic solutions more often than not. So look, I think that what we're seeing happen with stablecoins, we're seeing happening with central bank issued digital assets, I think is exciting. I'm not exactly clear how it's all going to play out. You're seeing countries experiment and test. Ripple has partnered with several central banks around the world. Some we've announced, some we haven't yet announced, that they're issuing and testing using the XRP ledger to issue their digital assets on the XRP ledger as a token. So we're excited to be working with them. And look, at our core, Ripple's really good at working with enterprise customers. A government is just a big enterprise customer.
I like what Brad said there. A government is just a big enterprise customer. And I also like the fact that he talked about domestic payments, because the biggest argument around XRP was for a long time was that it's only used for cross-border payments. But even David Schwartz has cleared that up time and time again, because XRP is going to be used for micropayments as well. And take notice how he said that central bank stablecoins, CBDCs, are going to be sitting on the XRP ledger. But what's going to move those stablecoins, including Ripple's new stablecoin? XRP is going to bridge it. And that's how we are going to get rich. The Central Bank of Brazil will launch a CBDC digital real on the EVM by the end of the year 2024. Take a listen.
When you look at the context of Brazil, it's quite favorable to innovative initiatives. By the end of the year, they're going to launch the CBDC digital real on an EVM chain. So XRPL's sidechain is coming at the right time.
By the end of this year, and the Brazilian Treasury bond tokenization will also happen on the XRP ledger as well. So all this value is coming to the XRP ledger this year. I think by the time we get to December of this year, I think we're going to be looking at a much different XRP. Here's WorldPay. They integrate it with Ripple and Stellar. and capitalizes on the stablecoin market through USDC. Circle. Digital rails are set up and awaiting the global regulations. Once the regulations are in place, the network effect of growth will catch like wildfire. That comes from Mr. Man. But take a listen to what he says at the end of this video. It's very important.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jason Chapala. I'm the Chief Business Officer at the Stellar Development Foundation, which is the foundation that goes along with the Stellar Network, which is one of the oldest layer ones, one of the oldest public layer ones.
Hi, my name is Eric Van Meltenberg. I'm with a company called Ripple. Ripple is also one of the more experienced players in the crypto space. We've been around as a company for about 12 years. And our mission, we like to say, is to help enable the Internet of Value, to help make sure that money moves around the world as efficiently as data moves around the Internet today.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Nabil. I work at a company called WorldPay, which is the world's largest merchant acquirer or payment processor, if you don't want to use industry lingo. We enable businesses, large and small, around the world to accept fiat payments from consumers. Last year, we processed about $2.4 trillion of payments into our various clients across pretty much all verticals. So I guess we're the traditional company that these guys are trying to disrupt. But hopefully we can partner with them before they do so. And we
Take notice, the guy from WorldPay said they are the ones that Ripple and Stellar is trying to disrupt. So they're working together now, and they work with fiat, and they work with traditional rails. So think about it. WorldPay teams up with Ripple and Stellar to upgrade the entire system, which will lead to mass adoption. And that is what's coming. Tomato 4115 shared this with me earlier today. $2 glitch on XRP, testing or nothing, you decide. So it looks like there was a glitch on MEXC. And we've seen these glitches time and time again. And I always like to say glitches will lead to riches, because there's going to be a day where XRP is going to be sitting above $2 and it's no longer going to be a glitch. That's going to be the actual price of XRP, and I cannot wait for that to happen. Now, this is funny because everybody is going to be talking about this. David Schwartz confirms $137,453 per XRP. Because David said, anyone know the mathematical significance of the number 2137453? And now everybody's going to be talking about this. But that's how the hype starts in the crypto space. I've seen David tweet out some of the craziest stuff over the years, and people try to decode it, or they try to spin it as if he's talking about XRP. Most of the time, he's just talking and confusing people all the time. But whatever gets people through this, until we get to the finish line, then so be it. Whatever it takes. Hey, if you need that hype to keep you going, so be it. I try to keep you positive along the way. I try to keep you from selling too soon along the way, because there's going to be run-ups that happen. And I'm going to be telling you, now's not the time to sell your XRP. Based on world events that could be happening at the same time. Maybe utilities starting to drive the price of XRP a little bit. You don't want to sell when that happens. We are invested with the elites. And the elites, they're not sitting there watching the chart all day. The elites are sitting there patiently, just waiting for it all to play out. I'm sure they already know the day the flip of the switch is going to happen. But you can see it coming. If you look at how everything is going right now, Ripple and Stellar have a seat at every single table. Think about that. If there was a big meeting right now that had to do with cross-border payments, the IMF would be there, the Fed would be there, the BIS would be there, and Ripple and Stellar would be there time and time again. Know what you're holding, because what you're holding is the future when you're holding XRP. You know, you put the money in, just sit back and wait to get rich. Do nothing. Stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.